Okay, so I'm Brianna from Art and Soul, and I was just having a meeting with a colleague of mine, Sozi, who and you said it's okay if I share that like our relationship that you're a client. So I know a lot about you, but you were telling me a lot about the work that you do that is so important that we see keep coming up time and time again in therapy about people's relationship to money. So, what is it you do and how do you help people? And tell us all
Yeah,
about it.
thanks. I work for a company called 111, and I'm what we call a wealth coach. And so basically, we help people figure out how to manage their money in many, many different ways. First is that you get a dedicated wealth coach. So whoever you're working with, that is the person you're going to have that relationship with the entire time. And that person gets to know you, gets to know the ins and outs of your life. Um, Initially what you'll have is like a kickoff call, and that's kind of getting the basics of who you are, what your financial situation is. And from there, we'll come up with a doable budget um, and check in as often as needed. It could be every day if you needed to, but typically it's once a week at first. And so we do check-ins, we see where you are, where there's areas that we might need to tweak. We also track your spending in our app, where we also have some educational videos. But within the app, you're able to pull in your accounts using Plaid, which all the big banks use, so it's very encrypted. And there's a process in which you start to rate your purchases. And this is really important to that psychology aspect of this, because you get to choose whether these purchases are in line with your values, in line with the direction that you're trying to go to in your life, or if maybe it's not. And so we do this for a few different reasons. The first one is we want to see, is there anything that you're not utilizing that you're being charged for? The second reason is to track that spending and kind of decide, if we wanted to pull from somewhere in order to create, say, a retirement fund or a 529 for your child, then we would be like, okay, well, where can we pull from that it's not going to hurt you? And
And
kind
let me ask one question before we get too far in, because you said that you're a wealth coach, and so I'm going to have a lot of clients that are like, "Well, I
of,
don't have wealth, so
oh,
why would I need a wealth coach?" And like, I'm just scraping by.
yeah,
Um, so but you said it's like the standard like participation fee is $25 a month, but
yep.
that this is not just for like people who have like
Oh,
stock investments and
no.
you know.
Um, I would say that 99% of our members are people who do not have accumulated wealth, who are just scraping by, who have debt, who are trying to figure out how they're going to be able to make those student loan payments when they come up. And so my job is to basically talk you through it, to figure out where areas that we can save money. If for instance, I have a member who was paying $1,000 a year in his car insurance. And so we searched and found a local agent who was not affiliated with any of those larger companies. And he contacted them and he's saving like $600 a year. So that when you're going paycheck to paycheck, that's a huge difference. And
You
so
gave another example of like people that are, for example, like paying money for a storage unit,
yes,
and
yeah.
that's draining, even just having that is draining their bank account. And I was impressed because you were telling me like how much time you invest in actually
Yeah.
finding people
I
better
think that's the
options.
really great thing about our coaches is they really truly give everything in order to find places that you can scrimp. And the thing is that like there's always a way to save a little bit of money. May not be a lot, but a little bit. And all those little bits add up. And add that into the fact that then you're becoming more mindful of how you're spending, where you're spending, and like where that money is going. Um, all of that kind of helps to create a little bit of change. And so for some people, it's a very large change. And other people who are already maybe a little bit more organized, it may not be a huge leap, but it's still very helpful. And the other thing is that you always have someone to bounce ideas off of, ask questions to. I have members who get something in the mail and they're like, hey, what is this? Is this first, is it legit? Second of all, is this going to help me? And so I'll do the back end searches for them. The other thing they get is unlimited access to a certified financial planner. And like you were saying, oh, I don't have any money. Why would I need that? Well, you do because that person is going to be able to help understand what those next steps might be. What if you're looking for an apartment or a mortgage or any of those things? Those are also things that we can help with. We can, and our certified financial planner can help with as well. There's just every single part of our lives is rooted in money. Everything we do, every step we take typically has their hand in finances somehow. Um, every season, you've got like Christmas coming or ho the holidays coming up. You have family coming in for Thanksgiving, maybe. I mean, all of these things you need funding for. So it's there's just so many things that are in, and also like looking over your benefits packages. That's another thing. Making sure you're in the right insurance product for your health insurance. If you're spending money, another one that I most recently, because we just finished with a lot of the enrollment times is with just kind of comparing how much did you pay out of pocket this year for your medical expenses, and encouraging them to sign up for that FSA, which is a flexible savings account that most employers will offer.
Yeah.
And it's pre-tax. So you end up saving probably about 30% on the things you already have to pay for.
And I just shared the 20 30 50 rule, 50 20 30, however you phrased it,
Yeah.
because you were saying like how important that 30% is.
It really is. And really, as you start kind of gearing a little bit more with the mindset, you kind of start seeing how this aligns with your current budget. And depending on where you live in the States, this could be vastly different. Like if you're living in New York City, chances are your housing cost is going to be more than 50% of your income. And so we make those adjustments. But this is like that ideal. If your fixed costs, those things that like if you lost your job, you still would have to pay for, that's what we consider your fixed costs. If that's below the 50% mark, then we really want to look at those goals. And that could be savings for anything. It could be saving for a vacation next year. It could be whatever, like anything that is a goal of yours. And we want you to automate these so that you know at the end of the day exactly how much money you have left over. And that way we can start kind of figuring out these calculations. But then you have that 30% choice spending, and it really is very, very important. We will never stick to anything if we're doing it all at once. Like if we go on a diet after January 1st, and we're like, I'm going to exercise every day for an hour. I'm going to change how I'm eating. It's just not going to work. Now, if you start adding little by little, then it works. And that's where that choice spending comes in. It allows you to still live your life and enjoy your life and stick to the goal that you're creating for yourself. And it's just making sure that everything you're doing is in your own best interest and you're paying yourself first and ensuring that you're still enjoying your life as it is.
So little like micro adjustments to your life that
Micro.
add up over time.
That's exactly right. That is one of the big things is that we don't want you to do this like massive overhaul because, like I said, you're not going to stick to it. We want to do those incrementals that will end up building upon each other. And then what I always like to say is where you are going to be a year from now is going to be a very different place than you are today.
Yeah, same with therapy. And that's one of the reasons that like, I had asked you if it was okay if I share that you're a
Yeah.
client because one of the things that was really struck me was how passionate you are about helping people and how much you care about your individual clients and seeing them succeed. And it really resonated with me as a therapist, my own clients. Um, and I just began thinking about like how this is so needed and I really want to share this like with clients, with colleagues, and with my friends. Um, so if people wanted to then learn more, go a step further, what would you recommend they do as far as like, should they reach out to you? Should they go to the website?
They can go to the website to kind of give a little bit more idea. They can also check us out in the App Store because we do have an app. It's 111, ONEELEVEN.co. Or you can just search it in the App Store, 111 Financial Wellness. And just, read those reviews. I think you can kind of see like a lot, how people really talk about how the life-changing events that have happened in their lives because of working with a coach. And the biggest thing is you're going to have somebody who is going to be your biggest supporter, who's going to be your accountability partner, and who is really just rooting for you to
Like a
succeed.
gym buddy, but for
Yeah,
your bank
right. That's
account.
exactly right. And it's a dedicated coach. You're only going to work with that person. And it's unlimited, which I think is like the biggest piece because sometimes people just need to do a drop in and be like, let's talk about this and let's figure this out. Or something happened and I really need to change, my expenses for this month. And so
And you
I
do have to sometimes wear a therapist hat because so
do.
much of our life, the trials and tribulations
It's very
also are either affected by our bank account or end up affecting our bank account. Our
absolutely.
ability to survive is hinged to money, so like there's a whole psychology.
Yes, there
Um,
is. There really is.
so thank you for like jumping onto this and making like a sudden impromptu video. I'm actually gonna take this video and kind of put it out there and send it to some friends that I know that really need some help.
Yeah, absolutely. And if anybody has any questions, they can reach out to me at sosie, SOSIE at 111.co. I'm happy to answer any questions. Hop on a call and kind of explain who we are a little bit better. And just to kind of understand where they are and how we can help.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.